I am saving over $8,000 per month on my Facebook meta advertising every month for the last 3 months. And I want to show you how to do it on today's AI Power 20. Welcome to Bemodo's AI Power 20. I am Jeffery Boyle, Bemodo's CEO, and I'm super excited to be able to show this to you. One of the main reasons why I'm super excited is it saved me a bundle of cash and a bundle of time. And that's what we're all looking for, right? Better sales, better prospects, better closing, and I'm going to show you how I've done it. I have been talking a lot about LinkedIn lately, and I think a little bit embarrassing because I neglected it for so long. Look, LinkedIn has a lot of different levels to it. It moves at a different pace, and people don't respond the same way they do. For a while, I was super excited about X, which I still like to do if I want to get into a rough and tumble, move at 1,000 miles per hour for a couple of weeks. But what it comes down to is I'm getting lots of business on LinkedIn. I want to show you how I'm doing it. So let's go to the screen. Last week, I was showing you in this document, Engage, Influence, Convert, the 12 steps that I take to be able to start to use the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Now, one of the things that I've built out since last week, and I give this to anybody who comes on to my calls every week, which are every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Mountain, 4 o'clock Eastern. Be sure that you join me because on those calls, I give you the different resources that I make every single week to help me grow my business. So I'm going to build out this for you this week, which is utilizing InMails or the LinkedIn mailing system, and they have a really good delivery rate compared to traditional emailing. So just so in case you haven't seen it before, make sure you look at last week's video where I talked about getting your SSI score up, determining your target market, and using Bemodo to be able to really help you hone in on that market. Determine your offer. You've got to have a really clear offer, and then making sure that you optimize your LinkedIn profile. Now, what I'm going to show you today can be used on X, it can be used on Meta, but I have found without question, I'm getting the best leads on LinkedIn. I recommend that you post consistently. Bemodo makes it super easy to do, long form, short form, all of those different things. Engaging with your network, that's commenting on their video or comment on their videos, commenting on their posts of all types. And I also explained on both the AI Power 20 and our live session that we did. You can check them both out on Bemodo as well on my YouTube channel, Jeffery Boyle. And I explained both of those. But today I'm going to talk about utilizing your InMails strategically. So I'm going to show you how to do this on X, but I'm really going to focus on how to effectively do that in the plan that you should have. I aim for 10 to 20 emails per InMails per day. Now, it depends on the type of account that you have, but I have the $99 account, and so I focus on about 10 to 20. If you get the recruiter, you can do 1,000 InMails per day. Now, that costs significantly more. So you always have to keep in mind your InMail credit allowance. So, example, 5 for premium, 50 for sales navigator, and all of those unused ones can be rolled up. But the key to this is customized messages to the recipient's profile. And if you do that, you're going to get a significantly better response rate. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And so basically, it's really important that you're not spamming. It's really important that you customize it. But that can cause a little bit of brain cramp, especially if you're doing a lot of them every single day. So I'm going to show you how to do that into this document. And like I say, just join me every week, and everything that I create is yours to use as well, whether you use Bemodo or not. It's just that Bemodo really makes it easy. So I talk about having your social selling index, which is just a part of what you can find on, and I explained it last time on LinkedIn. It's kind of like your credit rating, but on LinkedIn. And of course, the better it is, the more likely it is that you're doing things properly. But there's a couple different steps that are really important. You need to personalize these InMails. You need to have compelling subject lines. You need to have short and focused messages up to about 400 characters. It can go up to 500, but 400 is about the same. when to send them, Monday through Thursday, ideally 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That you've got, you can combine. This is a really interesting approach that we're starting to do, where you combine your InMails with emails or connection requests for higher engagement. So if you're already connected with somebody, it doesn't cost you anything in your credits to be able to send them. So for example, you could start with an email, follow up with an InMail, and then send a connection request. If you do that, it is far more likely that you're going to be able to get their attention with what you're doing. So, sending emails to open profiles and premium users who allow free messages. So not everybody allows that, but these also don't consume your credits. And you say, Jeff, what are you talking about? So right here in my Sales Navigator, you can see that it's only, what is today, the 12th, and I've definitely used a lot of my InMail credits. And so we're constantly watching that. And one of the things that we're approaching now to be able to make sure that we use less of those credits is that we do this. We check for open profiles, and not everybody has those. In fact, a lot of people do not. But this is a wonderful way right here to combine your InMails with your emails. Now, I'm going to show you how simple it is to be able to do this. But one of the things that I would just recommend is, of course, I've got the $99 account, which allows for 50 credits a month and a maximum accumulation of 150 credits. But with that, it gives me the ability to, to send out a number of these requests. And the more people that respond, by me customizing it for them and not basically rejecting that message, it doesn't take away from my totals. So be sure that you join the call this week, and I'm going to spend more time. But essentially with these 50 credits per month, you should be trying to send 10 to 15 emails per day, 50 to 75 per week. And you're really trying to make sure that you do so, that you share your messages in a way that they're most likely to be read. So I've got a formula on here that can help you send out much better call to actions and how to be able to really take advantage of the systems that are in there and use far less credits. I'll talk also about the follow-up and making sure that you get this SSI boost, which helps you really show you how effective you are being on LinkedIn. So let's jump over to Bemodo. I want to make sure as I'm showing this to you that you understand that there's really a lot of ways to be able to, let me just hit refresh here and log back in. It's really important that you customize these messages. And when you customize them, they're far more likely to be read. But the problem with that is sometimes it's just difficult to know what to say. So I'm going to start a new conversation. I just hit the plus over here, and I'm just going to do this DM testing 2 right there. And I'm going to choose ChatGPT as the model because I've trained my avatar. Now you can use Grok or Claude. Claude makes really good messages for LinkedIn. But my ChatGPT avatar is really well trained, and the only place that you can use your avatars are using the ChatGPT. So let's go inside of there. I'm going to grab my avatar, and I've done extensive training on training your avatar. And if you have any questions ever, then all you've got to do is just go to Bemodo.com. And inside of Bemodo.com, you can go into e-learning. And right here, I talk about training your avatar. So just click on that and it'll walk you through how to do this. My avatar is extremely well trained, and so it's ready to go. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to click templates right here, and I'm going to go into DM prospecting, or you can just search for personalized InMail and social DMs for cold prospecting. I'm going to grab that one by hitting the arrow, and I'm going to start off by, let's do X because it's because I have it on there already. So I'm just going to go 400. 400's really gives you quite a bit of content without being excessive. Once you get up to about 500, it's quite a bit. The tone and style, I'm just going to say, see my avatar for tone and style. See my avatar and reference files. That way it's going to use my tones, my styles. Or you can just say, for example, if you're using this for Claude or with Grok, you can just say friendly but informative, whatever you want to represent you on there. I'm going to go into, and I'm going to go into right here. This is a guy that we're both connected, but I'm going to show you kind of what to look for as you go through this. So right here, Emmy Steve, he's got 2,300 followers and he's only following 225 people, but he's following me. So it's far more likely that he's going to respond. So with him, I could visit his profile, but I'll show you some examples of people that are unlikely to respond to you. Jordan Belfort. He was the Wolf of Wall Street. He has 628,000 followers and 603 following. I'm here to tell you, he's not going to respond to you. You can try to do it. You can try to get him to follow you. So for example, Gary V follows me. Well, that's really cool, but I don't think he's going to respond to my DMs. So as you go through this right here, social media manager, look at this. This is probably a pretty good one. 2,300 followers, 722 following. Let's click on Maggie's profile, and I'm just going to grab her bio right there. So this will work in just about anything that you want. On LinkedIn, you can grab their bios right over here when you're inside the Sales Navigator. So let's go into Bemodo. I'm just going to put the recipient's name, which is Maggie, and personal insight. I'm just going to paste her bio right inside of there, and I'm going to show you what I've been writing, but I don't like it. I'm getting a ton of response, but I'm constantly trying to see what works better. So I'm just going to grab what I was writing before, put the offer details right there, the call to action, which is right here. I want to see if business qualifies, throw that in there, and I'm going to put my name, Jeffery Boyle, CEO. This is for Bemodo Capital. We've been helping people get business grants, and it is crazy just how people have been responding to this. We've been getting a grant for our own business, and I've been so excited. I started talking about it to other people and just friends, business associates, and they have said, well, tell me about it. So I thought I'd give it a test on Sales Navigator, and it's performing at a super, super high level. So I thought, oh goodness, well then I probably ought to spend some more time doing that. So what this did, because I picked X, it puts them in form of messages. So while we're going through these, I'm going to have it do LinkedIn, right? So I'm going to hit generate while we're talking here. So the first one, it always gives you a subject line, and you don't have a subject line when you do a DM on X. So let's go back to her, and I would send her a message. I almost always try to make sure that I'm following the person first, and I am following her, and she follows me. So this is a much more likely person to respond to me. So I go to send her a message, and then let's see what it's suggesting for me inside of here. Let's see the first one. And it gives you 3 messages. The first time it will add what you've put in there. And then the second one, you can see this is exactly what I pasted in there, as well as a customized message to her. Then it also gives you 2 additional messages that uses some formulas of top InMail and DM messages from some of the top trainers out there. So it just gives you different ones to choose from. And then boom, you can pick the one that you want, just add it in there, paste it in there, and hit send. And we're good to go. I think I've already sent her a message, so I'm not going to send her another one. And then if I want to, you can see that I also had it. Let's make sure. Whoops. Let's go to LinkedIn, choose LinkedIn, and here we go. So it's given me a couple. I guess I picked the original ones, or I didn't start it. But I'll have it give me some more of them, and now it's going to write them not too much different because my tone and style is very much the same, but it's going to focus on those being for an InMail message. So when you send an InMail message, you can see right here that it gives you the subject line, and it gives you a custom subject line, which is great, because it includes her name. It includes, include some information on there. And you can always tell it, I don't like that subject line. Give me some more. And I'll just say, I don't like the subject line. Give me 5 more. Boom. So it's going to give me a bunch more of them. So now all I've got to do, if I'm doing this inside of LinkedIn, go in there. This isn't Maggie, obviously. I'll just paste that message in there, grab that subject line. If it gives me more of them here in just a second, I'll grab those. Yep. So discover funding opportunities, elevate your brand. But you can see now it's giving you very specific subject lines that has her name in it. And that's what all the research says in both emails, InMails, and just about everything. The more customization, the more likely the person's going to respond to you. So it's really, really cool what I have found with this. I mean, saving myself thousands of dollars a month is a big deal. But making and putting all of these systems in here so you can do a number of them on different platforms, you really have no excuse but to give it a try. I really hope that you start to implement some of these strategies. And if you're spending a lot of money on advertising, there's nothing better than saving money in the process and increasing the quality of leads that you're getting. For me, this has been a game changer to be able to really start to learn and use LinkedIn. And those of you who join, I'm going to talk about some of the different tools you can use. I'll give you this document. And I really hope that you start to implement some of these. Come to the call with questions every Tuesday or every Wednesday at 2:00 Mountain, 4:00 Eastern. Be sure that you're on here. Ask the questions. Let's make this work for you, because LinkedIn, it works. It works. It's crazy. And the leads we're getting from it are very, very good people. So make sure you're on this week. I'll answer your questions and I'll share this document with you that's updated, new, and improved with your daily strategy of what you can do on LinkedIn, especially to be able to get people within your target market to buy your product or service. See you there.